Hi, welcome to day 17. Day 17 is looking at the literature review kickoff. So I've been searching for other books and materials that can help me on this project, and also things that I should reference, possibly, as it is kind of a research project, even if it's a unfunded personal one. If I choose to write it up, I should need to have references and other things in place. So I've started looking for documentation in books and methods beyond those that I was aware of or have read before. So while I was searching, I found the Routledge Handbook of the Ocean Space. So if you go to my website, I put all of these resources here on the day 17 page, so you can find them all with links for some of them, but not all of them have links, but you have the name and the author, so you should be able to find it. So this is a handbook of the ocean space, and I've started reading it now, and they seem to have categorized the ocean space in a really interesting way. So we'll see how it goes and if it might influence the categorization and the mapping as I've done it already. I also have a list of things to reread, which is Maritime Economics by Mark Stanford, because that book is just incredible and a bit dense, about everything from the history of maritime through the market forces that maritime is subjected to. And luckily enough, in April, I will be at an event where Martin Stopford will be speaking. And I've met him before at a few other events, I think at CMA and also at the WISTA Norway when we hosted the international conference. I met him there as well. And I think we've also had a couple overlaps, maybe at Maritime Money at one of their conferences. I'm not sure, but I've met him a few times, and his book is really great, and I want to revisit that, hopefully before I see him again in April. And then The Design of Everyday Things by Don Norman. That has a new edition that I haven't read yet, where I had read the previous edition, and my notes are lacking for both because I was really reading and not necessarily noting and annotating like I do have a habit of doing, but I didn't do it then, so now I need to revisit those and take some more notes. Then on my to-read list, I have two books that I just ordered, which I'll get next week. One of them, because they don't have them in digital, they don't have them on Kindle. But one is Designing Complexity, which is a methodology and practice for system-oriented design. And there's an event with that author later next week that I may or may not be able to attend. I'm not attending in person, but I'll be able to see it online. But it's happening in Oslo, actually. And then there's Design Journeys Through Complex Systems, Practice and Tools for Systemic Design, which is something else that I want to look at, because when we're looking at an industry like I am, and I'm trying to map like I am, we're kind of running into this systems-oriented design / systemic design, that those problems should be addressed through. And luckily, one of my colleagues has actually been taking a master's in systems-oriented design, so I've gotten a lot of small rub-off tidbits and read this, read that. That's been kind of interesting. So I do hope that he succeeds well with that master's program. And I'm lucky to have some exposure already to systems-oriented design, but I would say that I'm rather a novice and a dabbler, like I am in most things. Other things that I want to read are some papers. So one is The Future of Ocean Governance that came out in 2021. Ocean Shipping Alliances, The Waves for the Future. Ocean Economy in 2030, which is like a 100-page PDF. And then The Global Movement to Transform Ocean Science for a Better World, which actually came out just in 2002. And science industry collaboration, sideways or highways to ocean sustainability, which also should prove interesting. And then there's a whole slew of more books and ones that I also might need to revisit for notes. And I think some of the interesting ones there were user friendly, the hidden rules of design and how they're changing the way we work, live, and play. Super interesting. And the design of business was really interesting, as well as radically human, which is quite interesting in thinking about how we're going to introduce technology into what we're trying to do now and how it sometimes replaces other things. And another book that I just started, which is up a little bit, that covers that topic also, is The Technology Trap: Capital, Labor, and Power in the Age of Automation, which in the intro part, in the first few chapters where I'm at now, they talked about not just the weaving loom, which is the kind of typical example, but also the lamp lighters, because lamp lighters were going around major cities lighting all the lamps every night. And when electric lamps came along, that industry disappeared, and it was thousands of laborers who were doing that work. And one of the questions that's coming up in the technology trap is what to do when automation is introduced for driving trucks, for example, and you have a lot of minimally educated labor, which all of a sudden has lost their livelihood and needs to be retrained or find pathways into other careers, and how we might plan to deal with that, because I think that that's one subject that we should touch on in this project. Is yes, there's technology, yes, there's a transition coming, yes, that's going to change the shape of this work. How do we, or how might we actually support people in that transition, so that we're not only designing good work for the people who are able to do it, but also designing good work for the people who come out of this with low skills already. So it's something to think about. So plenty of books here, but if you have any suggestions for me to look at, please let me know. But I'll try to get through as much as possible. But there's only 83 days left. And it's quite a lot of pages that I've listed here for myself already. But I am hoping to really get through this project with a greater understanding and a more broad understanding of transformation and these subjects and the ocean space, and how all of our players work together or don't, to help produce a better future. Anyways, have a great Monday morning. I know it's an early broadcast, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.